context, which is exactly actually the way I was thinking until I heard about this kid in Australia, and he'd done this film that was quite a challenging film with Eric Bana, and I saw the trailer and I got them to put something on tape. It was very late in the day, and I asked them, everyone with all the children auditioning, to do a very neutral scene, you know, that was kind of just feeling out the kid without pushing them in any way. And on this tape came all these additional scenes, including that one that his father, who's an actor, who's one of the scariest cannibal gang members. His father's 6'6", covered in tattoos. He's one of the cannibal gangs in the road gang. He's an actor, and so his real father was doing this scene. Now I thought, obviously, I know what everyone's thinking, and I thought the same thing, that ring child services and deal with this situation, because this guy's completely unhinged. And then I thought, well, hang on, maybe it's a message that my child can deal with this. So when he showed up to audition, the father had already read him the entire book. But the thing is, the relief, and this is the miracle that I never even expected, is that Cody is mature way beyond his years. I mean, he's a lovely kid, totally unaffected, never had any nightmares about any of this stuff. Is just one of those rare kids that you come across that understands drama. Like he just, understood in a really profound way how people react in imaginary circumstances under extreme pressure. And it didn't affect him. And he was also a very serious actor, like in the sense that, in terms of being truthful and instinctual and real, and everyone, including Duvall, could not believe this kid, because when we weren't filming, he went instantly into, talking about skateboarding and, Vigo teaching him sword moves from Lord of the Rings. So I was unbelievably lucky, basically.
I mean, Vigo's been very complimentary about him, hasn't he? He said he's going to be one of the great actors.
Yeah, he said he's never worked with a better partner. Yeah.
Okay, we are rapidly starting to run out of time, so let's have another cyber question from the laptop.
Sure. Do you have any plans to bring any other Cormac McCarthy novels to the film?
The question is there any plans to bring any other Cormac McCarthy novels to the screen?
Well, you were offered Blood Meridian, weren't you, by Ridley Scott?
I'm not allowed to talk about that. I was actually offered to write Blood Meridian by Ridley Scott, but I passed on it because I just didn't want to be the guy who fucked up Blood Meridian. And I mean, it's I don't know how they're going to film that. They're trying to get someone else to write, but I don't personally see how you can film that film. And
I was going to talk to you about that.
Not now.
Not now. Anyway,
Okay, well,
no. Unfortunately, there's it doesn't matter whether it's Ridley Scott or Spielberg, but there's zero chance of making that film now for at least a couple of years.
What a pessimistic evening this is turning
Sorry.
into.
No. It's the. I'm afraid the business is. It's very. These sort of films can't be made anymore.
Any aspiring filmmakers out there, don't bother.
But no, in 18 months' time, it's all going to turn around.
Okay, no optimism. Let's have another question from the audience. Anybody? Yep, somebody on the end, halfway down.
Just wondering what happened to, while you're talking about business, I was wondering what happened to filming of Bunny Monroe.
Okay, the question was about, we're talking about the business, what happened. I think there were plans to film what became Nick's novel, The Death of
Bunny Monroe, yeah. Well, I wrote that was an original script that I wrote for John that had a few things that John was preoccupied about in it.
Set in Brighton.
It was set in Brighton, and we tried to get the money for it, and we couldn't get enough. Is that right?
Yeah, there was. I mean, it's like a house of cards financing films in this country. So it's always not one source, but many sources, and one of the cards dropped out, and it all collapsed. But we were going to resurrect it, but you didn't have the patience.
That's what it's going to be called, actually, the res-erection of Funny Money.
He's here every night.
You've got to read the book.
Okay, sorry.
But we're coming back to that.
Okay, so it might still happen one day. Okay, watch this space. Let's have another cyber question. Then I think we're going to have one more audience question. Then I'm afraid we're going to have to finish. So
Yeah, you can't let the computer dominate.
no, the computer's going to go, and then we're going to have a real person. Okay.
Do you think the success of No Country for Old Men has enabled this film to be made, and the success of it?
Is this Cormac McCarthy writing in this room? the question was: is the success of No Country for Old
For Old Men, yeah.
second part
Had any impact on, you think, enabling this film to be made?
had any impact on enabling the road to be made?
It made zero impact because I got the manuscript before it was published, and we financed it before the film ever came out or any of that happened. Speaking of which, this is how ironic the film business is. No Country for Old Men was Cormac wrote as a screenplay and couldn't get anyone in the business to make it. So years later, he turned it into a novel, and then it became what it became. But no, I mean, certainly that just added pressure when all that stuff like the Pulitzer Prize, and apparently it's the most translated book of modern time now. This is The Road, and of course No Country, what happened with that. But that all came after the event.
Is it also true that at one stage that you two were going to do Michael Ondaatje's Billy the Kid? But was that something that you were looking to do? Or is that an unscrupulous interview?
No, that we loved the book, but making the film we didn't talk about.
And I guess in this current climate, it will never. Okay. Let's have one more question from the audience, and I'm afraid we are going to have to call it quits. So, show of hands. So all the people from the middle. Nobody got a question, really? The only interview they're doing. Oh, there's somebody. Yeah, blocked by the camera.
I was just wondering that you addressing the question to Nick. You've done a lot of, your screenplays and your screenwriting. You did a little bit of sort of acting. Is there something that appeals to you as well? Something you'd like to do more?
The question was whether Nick plans to return to acting.
No. I don't really enjoy it, to be honest. I know I'm no good at it, which dampens my enthusiasm. Although I can be persuaded to do things, which I occasionally am, but I actually don't enjoy the process. I'm hugely embarrassed every time if I see myself on the screen. I'm hugely embarrassed by it, and I just don't enjoy it. So it's not something I really want to do.
We mentioned earlier, how many of you have seen Ghost of the Civil Dead? Okay, good number. Well, that is, Nick's very good in that film, and that film will be coming out. And you've also just done a narration.
That was my great role.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
Yeah, and then it was just a slow, rapid nosedive.
But you've just narrated a film as well. Is there an animation film that you've been involved in?
Yeah. It's up for an Oscar.
Oh yeah, and the fantastic,
shortlisted or whatever they say.
fantastic Mr. Fox.
This is a thing called the Cat Piano.
Oh.
The kind of short animated film, which I narrated. That's all I did.
Will we get a chance to see it? Is it
I
playing?
don't know.
In the current.
I don't know anything about it.
But you did something with fantastic.
I didn't do anything with fucking fantastic.
Oh, you did a song thing. Oh.
That was Jarvis Cocker.
Do you two know each other?
He's been away for a while.
Right. This is Nick Cave, not Jarvis Cocker. How
No, I thought.
Anyway, we're going to have to end there. We should say thank you to Icon, the distributors of The Road. The Road will be released on January the 8th. We should thank all the staff at Duke Yorks and Tim, Sarah and Nikki who worked very hard on the festival. The festival is showing some fantastic films over the next 10 days or so, so do come down and see them. But extra special thanks, as I said, they are very, very generous patrons, Nick Cave and John Hillcoat. Thank you.
Thank you.